Hey YouTube, today we're going to talk about something I've talked about a few times before, but I learned something new over the weekend and I figured I'd share it with you. This would be a cool little video for people that like Colt 1911s. But before we get started, I'm going to let you know that neither one of these 1911s are loaded, and as I pick them up, I will show you that they are clear. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the infamous Black Army Colt 1911. And the reason I'm doing this video, I've done a couple of them before showing you different features of what a Black Army is, but I was at a gun show this weekend and I seen the same stuff that I've always seen, people misrepresenting stuff. So what we'll talk about first is what a Black Army is, and this is a Black Army here on the bottom. And what a Black Army is, folks, is essentially a mistake, if you will. A lot of people give a lot of these gun manufacturers slack in today's times because they cheapen stuff up and they find the cheapest way to manufacture stuff. And some of the biggest examples is like the Smith & Wesson the pre-lock revolvers versus the newer revolvers. They use all the MIM parts and put the little lock hole in the side of them, and they don't have forged steel parts inside of them. And a lot of people it bothers them, some people it does not. It's just a cheaper way to manufacture things. The new Colt revolvers, like the Pythons and the Anacondas, they are not hand fit anymore. They're made on CNC machines, which in my opinion is actually more exact than hand fitting. So a lot of people shy away from the new stuff because it's not hand fit. Well, back in 1918, when Colt was producing these 1911s for the United States Army or the military in general, you know, the World War I really ramped up and they had to increase production pretty quick. They could not keep up with production. And folks, I'm a big Colt fan. I love the stuff that they've made, their older stuff, but they have made some mistakes over time, and that's why they've ended up in bankruptcy several times. And it is what it is. They made good stuff, but they've also made poor decisions. Well, in order to ramp up the production of the Colt 1911, they came up with ways to quicken the manufacturing process. And usually when you do things fast, it's usually cheaper, cheaply made. So was born the Black Army. Now, it was never officially called the Black Army, folks. What it was is they found a way to shorten the manufacturing time. So they did a lot less prep work on the finish of the frames and the slides and stuff before they did the bluing process. And what that resulted in is a more of a black finish that really did not last long. It was a horrible finish and it came off. And when people go out looking for Black Armies, usually when they find them, there's not going to be any finish left on them. And this particular one, I'll show you that it's not loaded since I have it picked up here. There's nothing in it. Usually when they find one, there's no finish left on a true Black Army. And a Black Army is just a name that's adopted by collectors over time for this horrible finish that they had on it. And I'm one of those people that always wanted a true Black Army, and this is one. This is 100% correct, all the matching parts and everything like that. So what you're looking for is a certain serial number range, and I'm not sure what it is, but it's made, the ones that were made around June of 1918 and on until 1919 had this Black Army finish on it. And you can tell if you look real close, it's just a real dark black area. You can see where the finish is on it. This one's got probably about 60% of the finish left on it, so it's actually remarkable. And they just found ways to cheapen it up, and not prepping the metal really made the finish suffer for these Black Armies. Now, one of the things that Colt did when they made these frames, and I'm going to use this one as an example first, and this is not even close to a Black Army, but this is a Series 70 just Goverment model. And when Colt initially cut the frames out on the machines and everything like that, they nicely milled this frame out right here. As you can see, it's really nicely milled out, and there's no rough cuts or anything on them. This is when they really took pride in what they did, and I pre-took these grips panels off because YouTube will not allow me to do it on here. You can't disassemble anything, and I don't know, it's just a weird world out there, folks, that they just do not like gun content at all. So I try and abide by the rules. But anyway, if you'll look at this cutout here in the frame right here that goes underneath the grip panels, you'll see that it's a really nicely milled out area right here. Now, when they did the Black Armies, when the first Colt first came out with these 1911s in 1911, they did this same deal. They took these things and they milled them out. They really took their time. They put a real pretty finish on them, kind of like this one right here, and they were very finely finished. Well, when they started to figure out that they couldn't keep up with production because they needed so many of these pistols for the United States military, they figured out a way to do shortcuts, and shortcuts are never a good idea, and that's why these guns ended up with, finish missing off of them. You see there's no finish, hardly any right here on the grip panel or on the front strap, and the back strap really has hardly any left, and it's just very thin over it. But one of the things they did, and a viewer pointed this out to me, if you're going out looking for one of these things and you want a Black Army, there's a lot of things you look for. The serial number, when it was made, a couple of the markings and stuff. But if you flip this thing over, if you'll notice where the cutout here is in the frame, it's a very rough cut, and it has like a heart shape to it. And that's one of the first things that you can look at right away to see if it was a Black Army. If it was not the Black Army finish, it would look just like the other one that I have here. It would be this shape right here. It would be finely milled, but these are really rough cuts. I'm going to give you some close-ups of it. And you just look for the shape of it. And I never even realized that until a viewer pointed this out to me, that just stops all the guessing right then, whether it's a true Black Army or not, because a lot of people refinish these things and they're mismatched here and there, and every single one of them, they're represented as a quote unquote Black Army, and majority of them are not Black Armies. There's not that many Black Armies out there that still have like a lot of finish left on them, just like this. They're still very cool guns. It doesn't bother me at all having some wear and patina on something, especially this old. But a lot of people, they all say a general owned this gun, a general carried this gun, it's a Black Army, and they say Black Army like it's something prestigious, and it's not anything prestigious. It just means it's a cheaper version of the actual M1911 that came out in 1911. So they cheapened it up a little bit, and I never realized this heart-shaped cutout. I don't know how all the years that I've been around these, I learned something every single day, and a viewer pointed out this to me. One of the things that I always go by is obviously the serial number, and the majority of the Black Armies, now there are a couple of exceptions, will have the United States property marks on the right hand side as you're holding the gun. This way it's going to be on your right. And the earlier ones, majority of them were not Black Armies. The United States property roll mark will be right here on this side of the frame. So if you find one that has the United States property right here, more than likely it's not going to be a true Black Army finish, and you need to investigate a little bit further. Per the viewer that told me, one of the easiest ways to do is just take the grip panels off and see if it's got these heart-shaped cutouts in it. If it does that, it is a Black Army, folks, because this is a shortcut they took. They didn't mill the sharp edge off here in the middle. This is just how the machine cut them, and that was a shortcut they took. But anyway, folks, I wanted to share this with you. I thought it was a very interesting thing that the viewer pointed out to me. I learned something every single day. Anytime anybody's got any comments, you think I said something wrong, or you think you could teach me something, I really appreciate it. I really like learning stuff from other people, especially other firearm enthusiasts. While we got these grip panels off, I'm going to try and show this on camera. I've mentioned this before. You can tell whether these guns have been refinished pretty easily because all the grains usually run sideways on these things. Let me see if I can get the graining to show up on it. And usually down about right here, the graining starts to move up and down. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera or not, but I'll do my best. But it's very obvious how it's done. And usually when they refinish, all that washes out in the refinishing process. It's kind of easy. You have to be around things for a while to be able to tell if something's been refinished or not. And usually when it's been refinished, it's not as desirable to the quote unquote collectors. But very cool gun. I'm a big 1911 fan, especially Colt 1911s. I've mentioned this many times, and I try and stay as proficient with learning stuff about these things as I can, and every day that I want to learn something new about something that I'm interested in. And the fact that they pointed out about these little heart-shaped cutouts to me, I never noticed it, folks. I mean, I've just been over them before. I've even read through the books, you know, a couple of the Poyer books and stuff like that on them, but a lot of that stuff really is not important to me, but I just thought this was notable and I could point that out on a video. But let me know what you think. If you have a Black Army, or if you ever seen one at a gun show where some dealer was trying to represent it as a Black Army, maybe this will be a little bit of a hint for you to see if it's truly a Black Army or not, if you're interested in buying it. But anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching my video today, and you folks have a great day.